Here's exactly why you keep setting goals and not getting what you want. You aren't really that committed. The first component is that you're really not that committed, and the second part is that you're addicted to the struggle. So you think it has to be hard, you think it has to be this like, I have to struggle and I have to, and this may not be like right on the surface, it's usually like layers deep down. But you, at the core, don't believe that it can actually just be as simple as you shifting your mind state, or what you are deciding in. The first component, you're actually not that committed. Let me ask you, the last time that you decided that you wanted to have a different experience, like you wanted to scale to 10K months, or you wanted to up-level your relationships, like your romantic relationships or your regular relationships, and you weren't gonna settle for someone who didn't take you out on a date or plan things for you. Let me ask you, you committed to that, right? You said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm deciding this. But then you didn't back it up with your actions. You settled for a guy who didn't ask you on a date. You were thrilled at the attention that someone random gave you on the street, and you let that be enough. You let that give you the validation that you were on the right path, but you didn't actually continue to commit to that path. You started to settle. You said you wanted to scale to 10K months, but then you started lowering your prices when no one was buying your high ticket offer. You said, I'm gonna sell this high ticket offer, and then you lowered your price, or you started to sell something low ticket because no one was buying. You weren't really that committed. If the external world can shake the way that you're showing up, shake what you're committed to based on the feedback that you get, you're really not that committed. You say you want higher level clients, but then you continue selling micro offers that just give people an opportunity to get inside your world, but don't actually allow them to fully expand in the way that you see as possible for your clients. You weren't actually committed to signing higher level clients in the first place. You're like, oh, that sounds nice, but you didn't actually follow through. And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm showing up every day, and I'm selling, and I'm doing all the things, and You just want it to be hard. Like, you think it has to be a hard thing. But really, when you're committed and you're like, okay, I'm showing up and I'm selling, and this is gonna get me the result that I want. Okay, I'm showing up and I'm selling, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna sell a 10K offer. It has to happen. But if you keep settling for the person who pays you 5K, if you keep slashing your rates in half just to get someone inside the door, you're not actually really committed to the outcome that you say that you want, because you're willing to sacrifice for it. And this goes back to that belief. It's likely that you feel like you have to sacrifice yourself in order to get what you want. You don't. You get to have what you want just because you want it. Just because that desire is birthed through you means it's going to happen for you. But you have to remain committed. You have to stay loyal to that decision that you've made for yourself and not falter at the next shiny object that pops up in front of you. You say you want this beautiful, glorious relationship that comes into your life as like your twin flame, and he does all these things for you, and he's so supportive and this and that and this and that, but you settle for the random man on the street who buys you flowers one time, and you let him into your bed, and then you wonder why you're not getting the reality that you want. Well, it's because you're settling for less than what you actually want. And you know what that does? It creates dissonance in your body, because it shows this energy of not trusting yourself to do what you said you were gonna do. This is why it can be really beneficial to build your capacity for receiving by doing what you said you were gonna do, because you build your capacity for receiving from yourself first. And it makes it so much easier for your logical mind to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna get that, obviously, no matter what. It's not a matter of patience. It's not a matter of showing up every single day and putting your all in and sacrificing. No, it's a matter of your energy. If you're willing to compromise what you really want for something that sounds nice but doesn't feel like a full body fuck yes in your system, you are literally your own demise. You are literally the thing that's blocking you from having every single thing that you want, because you're not willing to see it through. You're not willing to remain committed even when the external world is showing you that it's not possible or that here are all these other options. Do you know what it feels like to be wealthy? You have a lot of fucking options. Do you know what it feels like to remain wealthy? Knowing what to choose. Knowing what's most in alignment with you. Knowing how to say no to the options that don't feel like they're most in alignment with you. Otherwise, you'd just be buying everything. So if you really want that thing that you said that you want, the 10K month, that relationship, to build your business, there has to be no other option. It is the only option, and you're gonna get it. Because you value yourself that much. That is what it means to be wealthy and to live from a state of wealth and get everything that you want.